Yeah, so I can give a shot at the recap.
Okay, cool.
We did the second cache that we looked for, which was beneath so the stone and pyramid on a flat field of stone in the middle of the Gray Peaks. Met at the Happy Griffin Tavern, had some breakfast, and headed out. Spotted the pyramid in the area. A lot of cracks along the way, so we ended up having a fight with some. I think they're badgers, but we kept calling them beavers.
Yeah.
We booped their snoots.
Boop the snoot. I was trying to. I didn't write that one down. I really need to. So made it through the badgers and to the pyramid. As we started ascending the pyramid, the rocks started moving, and we came across some Galeb Dur. There we go. Gert, Heft, and Pert, if I remember correctly, and Dorothy ended up finding a salve and getting all up in there. Now the old Galeb Dur lover.
Get a little bit lower, a little bit lower.
Get on in there. In that crack. Right
Get
up
on in there.
Don't be shy. So they helped us up to the top of the pyramid, in which we found a dead giant at the top blocking our entrance into the pyramid. There's a small amount of thinking we had to do to get the giant out. We ended up ripping him in half and having the top fall down and the bottom.
He was
the bottom half
face
get
down
ripped
and
off.
ass up.
The Gabedir helped us do that, and then we descended into the pyramid after solving the pyramid's entrance puzzle, which was to the Hail Dragon Queen, I think it was. The runes disappeared. We went down, found a couple of chests, a lot of cobalt activity, and some dead kobolds in the inside. One chest was completely empty, and the other decided to ruin Dorothy's beard. So,
Yeah, nice recap. So you guys are in the Gray Peak Mountains. You guys are traveling to the next. This little handout here. I'll show you guys again. This is the handout that you guys had found on the Corpse of Verada store. And you guys are off to the third cache. You know, this is where this Verada store source had mentioned this cache, and it was carefully hidden behind a secret entrance in the wall of a green-sided mountain. And then Verada goes on to say that there's only one of these green-sided mountains on the Gray Peak Range, according to her research. And then she said that her source also said that the cultist who hid the treasure was an expert in magical curses. So, Green Mountain, treasure cache, curses. So you guys are on the way to the location marked on your map. Now, during this time, you guys are, taking about. You guys have already had a rest and whatnot. Everybody's back at full hit points. Everybody's back at full spells. No, you're back there.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's back to full everything. So you guys are traveling and on your way to the green-sided mountain in the Gray Peaks. So I want one of you guys to put a D20 roll into the tower to see if there are any encounters that you happen to fumble into on the way.
I volunteer Stormlord.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible. That's all.
There you go.
Great roll. I like it. So, as you are traveling in the Gray Peak Mountains, and it is a pretty arduous journey. Lots of climbing, lots of helping one another to get up to the next tier of the mountain. So you found quite a nice smooth path, and it is kind of smooth, but it is still rocky. Lots on the side, lots of sharp rocks juttering out. You can look over a couple feet to your right, and you can just see thousands of feet down the slope of the mountain. And it's a beautiful day outside. Not hardly even a cloud in the sky. And you can, see birds flying off into the distance. You can look down and look into the different valleys, and you can see smoke plumes rising up from small little villages or towns. And all of a sudden, as you're starting to round one of the mountains, you start to hear a whistling. Sort of like whistling a song. And as you kind of stop to think of what's going on, as of course it starts to get louder, and you can hear crunching, something like maybe a wheel, and you can hear things kind of shuddering around. And off into the, like I said, off into the distance, kind of around the corner and down, you can start to see these poles start to, break the crest of the hill that you're kind of standing on top of. And it looks like they have several flags on them. But you can just hear this, you can hear some hooves clopping on the ground, and you can hear a couple of wheels kind of grinding on the rock, and you hear this whistling. So what are you guys doing? As like I said, these flags, as they are getting closer to you, it looks like something is traveling on the road, and he's starting to get closer as these flags start to. And these flags have different crests, and they're kind of flapping in the wind and whatnot.
So we see this cart coming towards us.
Correct. Yeah. Well, you hear wheel. You haven't visually seen it yet. You just start to see the sort of like the banners and stuff that may be attached to it as it's starting to crescendo the hill that you're on.
I'm gonna look.
You guys hear that?
Yes, Malachi.
Want to go check it out?
Yeah, we can go and check it out.
Sounds like a cart.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Well, it's either that or surprise them. See if we can't maybe make ourselves a little richer today. As I say in front of my cleric friends.
Alright, so this thing continues to come closer towards you. And then all of a sudden you start to see, as you guys are still standing out in the middle of the road, there are a couple of horses that start to, beautiful black horse, a beautiful, white and black spotted horse start to, you start to see their heads, and you can see the cart as, these poles get larger and larger, and these things are probably sticking 15 feet over the top of the wagon. And it's an old traveling type of wagon, and you can see a lot of pots and pans hanging off of it. You can see a lot of weaponry that are on racks on the side, and you can see there's a sign that is on the top of this cart as it's coming towards you, and it says the traveling merchant. And he, this merchant is coming over the hill, and he can see you. He's an older gentleman, of course, quite dapper looking, and he has a top hat on and a pretty nice suit, or it was at one time. There's a lot of patches on it now and whatnot. And he continues to travel towards you, and then eventually, about 15 feet away, he pulls the horses up and stops once he gets up to a nice flat part of the hill that you're on, to where he can, stop the wagon. And he says, "Good day, travelers. Is there anything that you would need to assist you on your journeys? I have quite a few things, if you are looking for anything."
Still out of character, Dave. I got a healing potion during that time off.
Not a problem. Is there anything that the old man can help you with?
What does a man like yourself find himself in the Great Peaks?
I live here, of course. I There are quite a few travelers in the Grey Peak Mountains, and I just kind of travel around looking for them to see if they need anything. And he, climbs down from the top of his carriage, and he, opens up a few of the doors on the side of his carriage, and he just has all kinds of stuff. Rope. You can see potions of healing. He has pythons. He has anything you want. Lots of 10-foot poles sticking off of the side. All kinds of different backpacks. Traveling hats. He has a sort of like on the back. He opens up the back, and it's like a massive rack of clothes and stuff like that. Shoes, hats, all kinds of stuff. And he says, anything you want, I probably have.
What have you in the way of weapons?
Anything that you seek. So if you're needing any kind of weaponry, you can get anything out of the player's handbook. He'll at least have one of any weapons or armor. Anything. He has healing potions. He has all kinds of different kits. So if you need climbing kits, if you need an alchemist kit, anything, he's got that stuff. So anything in the player's handbook, he's got.
Okay, I'm going to buy a couple of days' rations as well off him then.
Okay, he's got rations. Just the cost of whatever it is in the player's handbook.
Shim's going to go take a look at the weaponry, kind of test out a couple of swings on a warhammer and a morning star, if there's one available.
Sure, he's got a morning star available.
They seem legit. There's no the weight.
No, it seems like they're perfectly balanced. They've all been taken care of. Nice leather grips and beautifully. The craftsmanship is exquisite. I mean, there's no rust. Everything is oiled. Everything is taken care of. Really nice stuff.
So Dorothy grabbed that healing potion, paid the man,
Sure.
and then basically cupped her money pouch and said, well, this is going to be unfortunate when we get to town, and I'm going to need more ale than I can afford.
He says, that is one thing I cannot help you with, Missy.
I'm going to buy a potion of healing, 2 healer's kits, and then I go to pick up some crossbow bolts and get funny looks as I pick them up.
Hey, you kind of look like someone that I've seen on a wanted poster way back. I'm just kidding. I kid.
I would like to buy 1,000 ball bearings, a bucket, and a pair of slippers.
Well, you're just in luck because I just happen to have one more batch of ball bearings. Boy, these things are popular nowadays. I wish I would have picked up more back in Waterdeep. These things are quite hard to come by. Anyone else need anything from the player's handbook? Any potions, anything like that?
Shim's going to settle on a pair of light hammers.
Balls are never hard to come by.
Especially when you're playing D&D, right? All right. So you guys take care of all of your business with the traveler, with the traveling merchant?
So as Shim's trying to check out the hammers and packs them away, he's going to make a small talk with this merchant about you're a traveling man, and I'm sure you've heard a good tale or two. Anything good as far as jokes? Or I'm always in the mood for a little bit of enlightenment.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me a joke. Oh, I always travel.
Oh, I've got some good ones, but
I would love to hear one. I would love to hear one. If you have one, I would love to hear it.
All right, so I'm gonna look around the group, not noticing any monks. I'm gonna go with. So why are monks the best lovers?
Why are monks the best lovers? I have no clue.
It's all that flurry of blows.
All of a sudden, you hear a little jack-in-the-box sprouts out from his wagon, and he has a drum set, and he goes do-do-do, tsh. then it resends back into the jack-in-the-box. Ah, my goodness.
It's your turn, Merchant. Come on, we got to have a good one.
I'll share one. What do you call a ranger without an animal companion?
Ah,
A virgin.
oh boy.
That's a good one. Shem's slapping his knees, having a great time.
I'll chuckle to that one.
Seeing as we're in the mood again, I'm having a little bit of people sharing, and half-orcs are a bit known to get a little carried away at times.
Put it on.
I'm gonna shout out and just say, "Oh, that was a good one." How many half-elves does it take to light a candle?
I don't know. How many half-elves
I'll
does
start
it take?
glaring at him a little bit here at this point.
Shem doesn't take a single bit of notice that there's a half-elf standing like right next to him. He said, surprisingly, only one. Turns out half-elves are good for something after all.
Well, I heard your mama was so fat she got stuck in her dimensional door.
And I heard your mom's so fat she wears a bag of holding as a moo-moo.
Oh, this is too crazy. I like it.
Good times, sir. Good times, sir.
You think you know, speaking out of character here, you think you see it all, and then something else just comes up. It's great. That's the great thing about being a dungeon master. You know, you think you see it all over the years, and then something else pops up. It's great. Telling D&D jokes. I love it during a game. I love it.
I do have, so this is the quintessential one for tonight. So, as the group kind of getting together and letting this merchant off, so I'm going to ask the group, a paladin, I heard of a paladin, a rogue, and a ranger. Paladin, rogue, ranger, and wizard group up to take out this entire goblin horde. Looking at that party makeup, do you see the problem? We certainly don't have it tonight.
No.
They made a clerical error. And ended up without hearing
Waka,
potions
waka,
after an
waka.
hour.
Bum, 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 bum. So the traveling merchant, he thanks you for all of the business. He climbs back up onto his wagon, and he starts to triggers the horses a couple of times, and they start to slowly, he takes the emergency brake off, and then he just starts to barely travel down the path again. Just kind of looks back and tilts his top hat at you and turns around, and the carriage takes off. Very slowly, though. It's not like they're, kicking up a huge, amount of dust or anything. I mean, he's just barely cruising. Says, thank you very much again.
Shen will
Thank you.
wish him fair winds and falling seas.
All right.
It's never a traveling tavern. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, I might do something like that later on. So you guys are following the map to your destination. And off in the distance, as the sun reflects upon the Great Peak Mountains, one of these mountains stick out, and it looks like it is like a very metallic, shiny green. And there is a distinct path that leads up to this mountain. And as you travel up, the path is quite narrow, and you're traveling up this slope. And like I said, you look over upon your right, and it's thousands of feet down. On your left-hand side, you eventually make it up to where this green-sided mountain is. So I'm going to give you guys a map, so enjoy the map. You guys won't be able to see very much of it. Now on the left-hand side of this map, You guys are gonna. This is where you guys are at. All of your tokens should be there. I'll have to add. Dorothy. So, all right. Like I said, on the left, this is supposedly the spot where you're supposed to be. You know, the stone is green. All of the clues and Verada Store's notes that you have led you to this area here. No door is visible. No door is visible at all. You know, you're on this narrow path. You're halfway up one of the Great Peak Mountains.
Well, it's supposed to be behind a secret entrance. So who's got some good eyes around here? I'll start feeling my way around the
Very good.
cliff edge.
Anything down the thing, see if we can see any secret doors or anything, or any kind of places that look like they could be potentially secret doors.
Dorothy's going to scan the side of the building, considering she is a mountain dwarf, see if anything seems out of place. That could be a door.
Okay, you can give me a investigation check as you're starting to look along the. All right, Shem. Looks like Shem is also doing the same. Wow. Cylon is also looking. Wow. Speaking out of character, you guys have put 3 rolls into the dice tower, and I usually don't tell you guys, but Shem, you rolled a 1. Silson rolled a 2.
Well,
and
look,
Dorothy rolled a 1. Oh my gosh, that's just
This is gonna be a good night.
unbelievable. This is gonna be. We're off to a good start.
I'll look as high as I can look, about 3 feet off the ground.
Shem's smacking the side of the wall, going, "I don't see no damn door."
Oh my god, Malachi rolled a 2. Valen rolled a 1. Are you kidding me?
Let's get them out of the way now, guys.
This may be the time where I ask if I can use my Dwarven Stone history check.
The adventure's over with. Find a way.
Can you find this fucking door or what?
Well, Chief has come to the rescue.
Thanks,
Because as all of you guys are fumbling around looking at this, and I think even
I can only look up so high.
I think the green stone has kind of jaded everybody, and including you, Dorothy. I mean, this is just something that you haven't seen as a dwarf. But good old Chief, man, he comes up and says, it just sticks out like a sore thumb to you, Chief, as you're looking around. You bail everyone out. You can
It's
see
because
that
it's seafoam green.
exactly. You can see that there's
And I'm going to take
2.
that 1 as intended.
It is. I think it is with him. Now you can see that there are 2
Some
where
jaded green.
these S's are. There are 2 doors, and Chief points these out. I mean, they stick out to you like a sore thumb, Chief. And both of these doors, I mean, it's just obvious. You can see, the cracks in the mountain, and through all of the metallic green, you can see these.
That's great. Shem's standing right next to one and just goes, "Nope, nothing."
That's pretty
It's there.
much it.
Trust me, Jim. It's there.
Well, there you go. You found 2 of them.
Well, point these things out. I have no idea what the hell this is.
I could shoot a crossbow bolt into one if you like.
Just make sure I'm behind you.
So as
Well,
you're
if it's a
looking
secret
at them,
door, there might be rooms or something nearby to help open the door.
it is kind of a little windy up here. There's a little bit of gust, but like I said, it's a beautiful day outside. Hardly a cloud in the sky. You've only got about 10 feet that you're on this narrow path, and behind you, as you're facing this wall, behind you, the sheer drop off is probably several thousand feet to the ground.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little wind. Perfect weather conditions.
It is perfect. Perfect
For me,
rock climbing
anyway.
Conditions. Yeah.
So Shem's going to ask the group who's got of all these clerics, who has the best knowledge of curses, as it seems according to the note, we should be expecting some.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. The one thing that you do notice, Chief, there is... Well, I'm sorry, Shen. Shen comes to the rescue, not Chief. There's the two doors. You're facing them. Now, the door on the left, it is more obvious that it looks like a door. Now, the door on the right-hand side, it does not. It seems like it's more. It's more hidden. It looks like it was. It was a little bit more precaution was taken trying to hide this door.
Almost like the first one's a kind of cover over to get people to go in that one and actually hide the true one.
Shem's going to look at the ground for any sort of footprints or recent traffic.
You look around, and the only traffic that you see is from all of your fellow companions.
Shem would like to make a perception check on the door to the right, which is the southern one on the map, right?
That would be that would be the one on the right-hand side. And
to see if I can see a means of some kind of mechanism to open the door.
Okay. So, the door on the right, it looks like it can be open. But it's going to take a little bit of work. Probably with the use of maybe some crowbars and whatnot. You might be able to get this thing open. The door on the left definitely looks like it could be open. You kind of looked at that to compare the two. And, yeah. You could definitely open up the one on the left easier. Now, the one on the left, as you were looking at these, Shen, you're kind of wiping away all of the edges and kind of like digging out the dust and the grout. And you notice that there is a light colored rune that is on this door on the left-hand side. And it definitely looks like it has some kind of magic, of course, because it is glowing this color, and it's kind of dimming down and then getting a little bit brighter, and it just does this over and over. So there's definitely a rune there. And that's just on the door on the left-hand side.
Can we determine what the rune resembles or means, if it's in some sort of language? Have a look at it, either from the arcane arts that I've learnt in the past, or any religious symbols or anything like that.
Sure, you can do an arcane check. Absolutely. Arcana. I know Skyblade rolls are horrible.
It resembles the one from the chest that everyone was cursed in small.
You're not able to really determine what it is. This is something that's out of your wheelhouse. It is definitely beyond your power of magic.
Shemgar's going to look over at Shen and just say, Shen, Eagle Eye, what? How do we get into these things? You figure?
You think if your best guess would be it might open the door if you touch it, but you're not too sure. That's it's either it's going to open it up or something's going to happen, but you're not really able to determine it because, like I said, the type of magic that was used to make this is definitely far beyond your years of study in the arcane arts. The wind is swirling around up there.
Defer to the party to figure out which door we go in and how we do it.
I personally think the more obscure door is the one we should go. The other one, it seems it's the easier one to find. It's got some sort of room